A lot of pent-up wanderlust is being released after 3 years of pandemic restrictions. Americans are crossing the Atlantic in record numbers, jamming hotels and popular tourist sites. A lot of them, no doubt, are armed with a Rick Steves guidebook or advice from one of Steves' columns, newsletters, or long-running series on public radio and PBS. Rick Steves, thanks so much for joining us. I understand you just got back from Iceland and Poland. Were there any differences pre-pandemic and post-pandemic?
You know, I've spent a couple months in Europe so far this year, ranging from Spain to Estonia to Iceland, and the big issue is the crowds. There's sort of a feeling of revenge travel, they're calling it. Everybody wants to get back there and do the trips that were canceled. And Europe has learned how to moderate the crowds by having people book admissions to museums. Europe did not waste time during the pandemic. There's a lot of impressive new infrastructure, new museums, new libraries, new creative restaurants. It's a pretty exciting time to be there.
I know your guides urge people to get off the beaten path, to do things that not many tourists do, but do things that the locals do. Are you still finding new things after all these years?
My whole idea is to go over there and hit and miss and miss and hit and miss and bring home the hits, to make mistakes and learn from my mistakes, take careful notes so people can learn from my mistakes rather than their own and travel more smoothly. I've done, in the last couple of years, venerable long-distance trails in the Alps. I've done barge tours in Burgundy. I've learned the joy of second cities in Europe. Everybody goes to the first cities. Why not try Lyon or Marseille after Paris? Why not go to Porto instead of Lisbon? You're going to go to Edinburgh. Be sure to check out Glasgow. Yes, go to Dublin, but don't miss Belfast. It's these Rust Belt industrial cities that used to be ignored that are now edgy and I think really rewarding, and they get you away from all the crowds.
How do you approach a new place when you first encounter it?
I try to be as confused as a typical tourist would be. I've been going there all my life. A first-timer is not going to know what ends up. And then I realized that, you know, your money is a limited resource, but so is your time. And that means remembering a taxi ride can be a good economic choice, considering what you and your travel partner's time is worth. That means do a smart itinerary, recognizing that, you know, you don't want to have redundancy. You don't want to see Oxford and Cambridge. Do one or other of the great university towns and make time for something entirely different, like the castles in northern Wales. I think it's really constructive for us to get out there, get to know the world, find out that there's more than one right way to do things, and the world's filled with beautiful people and a lot of love and a lot of joy. And you come home then with, I think, the most beautiful souvenir, and that's a broader perspective.
During the pandemic, there was a lot of that sort of tunnel vision, focusing on things right in front of us. How has that changed Americans' attitude toward travel?
The challenge for us these days is to get away from our screen. You know, I was filming in Venice recently, and we were trying to find two lovers on a gondola going under the Bridge of Sighs. There's no lovers going under the Bridge of Sighs. They're all taking selfies, you know. And as a tour guide, I have to really remind my travelers, be in the moment. That's a big challenge for us. And another big challenge is, don't be sheep going where everybody's going. I mean, these days it's crowdsourced. You know, you got a lot of people who've never been to Paris telling you where the best hot chocolate is. You know, you can let that design your itinerary, but really it's important for us not to have that Instagram mentality where you got to stand on the same pier and get the same frame so you can prove to your friends that you're having a great time. Go over there and carve your own path. If you've got Irish heritage, that's where you should go. If you love Wagner and opera music, you can go to the Wagner Festival. If you love Italian food, you can go to Italy. If you love World War II history, you can go to Normandy. It's just, for me, so exciting to be able to go over there and sort through all the options, cut through all the superlatives, and find out ways that we can travel smartly.
You mentioned Instagram. There are so many people talking about travel on Instagram, on YouTube channels, influencers who may be getting a lot of freebies from the things they're talking about. How has that changed how people learn about travel? How has that changed what you do?
In the future, I think there's going to be two kinds of travelers: those who consume information smartly and those who take information that comes at you with an agenda. You got to know how to travel like a temporary local. You got to know when you walk down the main street, the Dam Rack in Amsterdam, you're going to see a place that looks like a tourist information center, but it's actually a box office selling commercial ventures. There's no Anne Frank, there's no Dutch East India Company, there's no Rembrandt in that box office. There's just a bunch of gimmicks that want your time and your money on your vacation. You know, what you need to do is equip yourself with good information, expect yourself to travel smart, and you will. A good example is lines. The green, thoughtless, unprepared traveler spends a lot of time needlessly in lines. And for me, that's a big agenda. If I encounter a line when I'm researching for my guidebooks, I find a way around that line. I find a way to coach my travelers to be able to enjoy that site without wasting 2 hours trying to get into it.
Rick Steves, helping people travel smart. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, John, and happy travels.